Welcome to the WBB Mason Coaches Report. I'm joined today by Hofstra women's basketball head coach Krista Kilburn-Steveskey. Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Hey, thanks, Amanda.
You recovered after a long trip down south?
Trying to. How about you?
I'm getting there.
Lots of emergency.
Yes. The Pride came away with a pair of road wins this weekend, topping Charleston on Friday night 75-60 before beating UNCW 69-61 on Sunday afternoon. Coach, how big was it for the team to get 2 wins this weekend and both on the road?
Resilience. It doesn't matter who you're playing night after night in the CAA because everybody's difficult, as we saw Towson upsetting William & Mary and, Elon winning yesterday. So, I mean, it's just where we are. Well-coached league. Nothing is a given. And, so the resiliency that we showed and to come back and a lot of change in schedule and this how the team adjusted with just things that you have to do in order to play the games, so just really proud of their resiliency for the weekend and getting out of town here with 2 wins.
You mentioned that resiliency. Both games got down in the first quarter, 22-11 after the first quarter at Charleston, 18-8 after the first quarter at UNCW, and then really kind of came alive in the second quarter, both games.
Right.
What did you see from your team to turn that around after tough first quarters and slow starts?
Yeah, I mean, when you kind of are going through a little bit of a shooting slump like we were, even as a whole, it's almost like you have to play your way out of it. And I think a little bit of the residual, really from both games, was the first quarters in both. So, that's where we just have to, if you go back and kind of look at how we played all before that, we didn't necessarily have, even in the Drexel and the JMU game, we didn't have first quarters like that. Just were very low scoring and very low percentages. So it just kind of getting ourselves back in the groove. And I think that it just is what it is. You kind of ride the roller coaster sometimes, but you want to get all the pieces going and we go forward. So that's the thing I'm most excited about, is just getting the pieces and figuring out how we continue to move forward figuring that out. But we got to shoot our way out of it and keep our confidence. And I think that's that resiliency and that confidence that we showed. We just didn't let it get it down. And Alexis Davis comes off the bench, hits that layup. And Boogie, I thought, hit the 3 in the Charleston game. So it's like each thing kind of gives a little bit of a release. And then I thought, obviously, Ashane did a great job. So just those pieces that help us when we need.
Boogie Brzozowski, CAA Player of the Week after a big weekend, double-double Friday night, and then 18 points all in the second half on Sunday. What did you see from her? Is she kind of starting to find her rhythm?
Well, that's it. You've been off the court for a year. You haven't played in any games. You've only played Bonaventure and then now 4 CAA games now. But so I think just getting that in the groove, kind of knowing what I want. You're still learning. I think people sometimes, especially young athletes, you want it now. And, when you're running that point guard position too, you're expected to run the play the coach wants. You have to see all the options that are coming up and see your teammates. And I just think that's just going to take time. And we all have to be patient, coaching as well as players, because we're going to see it. I was making a joke because someone put, Marion at the point guard, and let us all see how important it is to run the point position. I think sometimes we often forget how serious that position is. So whether it's Alexis sharing that with Boogie, but just couldn't be more proud of her getting her groove. I think the big play in the Wilmington game, it might have been, like I said, Alexis' layup, but then it was her charge. It was Boogie's charge. So it's like little things like that. The team, everybody wants to look at what the stat sheet shows and all this kind of stuff, but there's so many other pieces that win the game. If it was just the points, it'd be an easy fix all the time. It's somebody got a charge, somebody, like you said, made a bucket at a key time or got a huge rebound. Obviously Liv was 6 for 6 in the Charleston game. So everybody is contributing, and the stronger that we get about our role, the better we're going to be going as we move forward.
Yeah, and Boogie had that charge against St. Bonaventure also, so a lot of things like that from her.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm excited about her offensive end and hitting her shot, and I'm just really excited about how well she plays defense, and that's going to make us better because that's where we kind of hang our hat.
Another one who kind of found their rhythm this weekend, again, was Noelle Durant after struggling for a couple games.
Yeah.
What did you see from her, especially on Sunday?
Nay is always Nay. I mean, the kid is an amazing athlete, and she's just having to fight through some things, and I just felt like she had finally had a little bit of a sense of relief, and that's the first real good look I think I've seen in Nay in a while. I thought she was refreshed coming back after the holidays, and we had 2 tough opponents right out of the gate. But I just really think if we're just figuring out how to just keep her, get her on the court, get her feeling well, and getting her the ball. So all that stuff is great, but getting her the ball, and her wanting the ball, and I think she did both. She did both on Sunday, and and that's up to us, the coaches, staff, the players. You know, understanding what we need to do, what we, you know, what's there, and take what's there. And I think sometimes we kind of get a little short-sighted in that. So they're coming, they're seeing, and with great direction of my staff, you know, of knowing, you know, what shots need to be taken, who needs to get the ball, where we need to play out of. So I think generally when we play, you know, inside out, we do a good job, and it gets everybody involved. So, but I can't be happier enough for her even mentally, because you know how much she wants to contribute for this team, and I know she hasn't felt like her real self, and I thought Sunday she felt like her real self.
McCroskey, another one with some timely points this weekend.
Yeah.
What have you seen from her in her first couple games?
So, I mean, the exciting part, like her and Marianne playing together at times, you know, giving Nay a reprieve when we needed, and, you know, defensively for her and her size and her strength and rebounding. So I think that's just going to keep coming. So I can't be any more pleased. I mean, she, you know, she knows focusing and finishing, getting the shoulder squared and things like that, but she's a presence down there, you know. She's a presence. They're a great 1-2 combo, Marianne and Kai, because Kai likes to get grimy in there. You know, she has some range, but she definitely doesn't mind getting down there and banging. And, you know, Marianne's kind of been both. So it's fun watching those two, and playing them together for the first time was really exciting for me. It was nice to see. So, you know, it gives us just more options. You know, Sandra Carson gives her more time to play that guard position where she loves to be. And, you know, so it just gives us more options.
This weekend, back home, now for 4 games. Delaware and Charleston this weekend. Haven't seen Delaware yet, but just saw Charleston this past weekend. What are you looking for from both of those teams?
Well, I mean, you know, defensively, we just got to talk about that, because Delaware's going to crash the boards. They have great size. They, you know, they're well coached, and, you know, they're going to come in ready to play. So, you know, every game's important, and our next most important game is our next game. But, you know, I think you got to keep that simple, you know, with them, because, you know, they do what they do. They play hard. New coach, new staff, very motivated. So, you know, we'll be ready. We just need to continue a lot of energy out of our squad. You know, I was going to mention one of the best plays, another one of the best plays in the Charleston game. Aliana missed a layup, and which we're working on this. But she sprinted all the way back and got the rebound. So I told her I was going to like use that as just a comment all year long, because it's not about the mistake that you make. It's about, you know, how you recover. So I think those are the things. You know, facing our next opponent, Delaware, you know, and everybody else, you're going to make some mistakes. You got to play through, and you just don't let nothing be colossal. So, again, the contribution from everybody will help us, you know, defeat Delaware, and then turn right around and face a very tough. You know, everybody's tough in our league, so you can't, like I said in the beginning, you can't sleep. So be ready to face Charleston less than 7-8 days since you played them last. So, thanks, CA. But you know, it is what it is. So it's our next opponent is Delaware, and we'll be ready.
Pride hosts Delaware on Friday night at 7 p.m. at the David S. Mack Sports and Exhibition Complex, before hosting Charleston at 2 p.m. on Sunday. This has been the WB Mason Coaches Report with Hofstra Women's Basketball head coach Krista Kilburn-Steveskey. Thanks again for joining me, Coach.
Thank you.